Hello and welcome to the final round of the 2016 TW Steel DMAX Inter Enduro Championship, back where we began at Daytona, Milton Keynes. Now, two things to watch out for today. Firstly, we have the two men on the front row, Bobby Tronley, who is confirmed champion, and Luke Cousins, who is confirmed as second in the championship. Don't expect those two to be taking it easy. They're both going to want to end with a win for sure. Then we have the battle for third in the championship between Xander Mahoney and Ollie Peacock, but in these challenging cold and wet conditions it could all go wrong very quickly for one driver, so they have to get through that first corner safely. Let's head down to the grid then to speak to some of the drivers before the start of the race.
Fifth place is alright, still 2 seconds off Bobby. That's a hell of a lap time. I'm sure that won't be the first time you've heard that either. That was an incredible lap time. Just got to pick up my racing lines a bit better. My alignments are pretty extreme. I dropped back, followed Mike for a few laps and found a few more temps I think. So just about a matter of plodding through, learning the race. It's a long race. Mistakes, they'll be all over the place today. So yeah, should be fun.
Good luck.
It's been an interesting year, yeah. It's been a tale of two halves, I think. So first half wasn't great, and the second half has got better. So
fourth in the grid.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I think next year. Well, today's all about really tuning up for next year. So I want to be podiums regularly next year, really. So I've had one, and that's not really enough. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Qualified fourth. Joe Conroy beat me right at the end on his last lap. So we'll see how we go. But apparently I was running second for most of the session, so I seem to have some good pace in there. So we'll see.
Yeah. Apparently.
Change the weight category in the third.
Yeah, it's alright.
Against this guy.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. I don't know where he is.
Or not, I think he's going to be the front row, looks like, today.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
In the dry and see what happens.
Every match in the dry, he says.
Good actually. We've got the same car I had at Tamworth, and it doesn't have a sticky throttle this time, so that's all good. Yeah, I like driving in the wet, so front row start, we'll see what we do.
Where does that lap time come from?
Well, I really don't know, to be fair. I was just following people's lines, just trying to find a grip, and obviously it might have worked. It probably worked out a little bit, but still, the race is coming up next, and we'll see what's going to happen. I know it's going to be a hard race because all the quick guys, especially Joseph. I don't know why he decided to move up from lights, but he decided to come in and ruin the bike. Well, gotta give him the greeting.
So it's the season finale for the 2016 Daytona DMAX Inter Enduro Series, and what a showdown it's turned out to be in the finale. It's going to be a very interesting day for Bobby Trundley and Luke Cousins on the front row of the grid, of course. In terms of drop scores, a miracle is going to stop Bobby Trundley becoming the champion. Basically, to wrap it up, he had to show up today, and he is already effectively the champion. But this is for honour, this is for pride amongst these two.
So Bobby Tronley and Luke Cousins on the front row, as you said. Joseph Conroy and Michael Coppin are row 2. Oliver Peacock, who's trying to secure third in the championship, is on row 3 alongside Andrew Tempest, and directly behind him is Xander Mahoney, who is fourth in the championship. He has Seb Cook to his outside, James Perry and Matthew Conroy on row 5, then it's Alex Pritchard and Martin Bork, Tim Ellis and Andy Stobart, then it's Ronnie McClintock and Stuart Shearman, Macaulay Pond and Richard Allison on row 9, Paul Mason and Nigel Foot on row 10, and Ollie Kemp and Adam Byrne on row 11. So really we're watching for Peacock and Mahoney 5th and 7th battling for 3rd in the championship.
Luke Cousins has been Mr. Consistency all year long, of course. One final win over the course of the year in the endurances, and 5 for Trundley, who's had an absolutely meteoric season. He's one of the best in the Daytona DMAX paddock, and he versus Luke Cousins. It's going to be really interesting to see how this final round of the championship will play out. Bobby Trundley pretty much already confirmed the champion, other than the officialdom of it. We're waiting for the start, green flag, and away we go. Trundley's going to hold it to the inside line, and he leads in the initial reckoning. Cousins is there in second position, and Mahoney's gone!
Mahoney's gone, he's had a spin. Thankfully everyone's managed to avoid him, but Mahoney now back down in 22nd place. Oh no, and he's going to have to get pushed out as well. So Xander Mahoney, that is a terrible start.
Well, that is any chance Xander Mahoney would have had of pipping Oliver Peacock to 3rd position in the championship, taking a severe hammer blow as Trundley and Cousins are side by side for the lead of the race as they battle away. This is what we've been seeing all season long pretty much, and it looks as though Cousins round the outside is going to beat Trundley to the corner. No, Trundley holds it back to the inside line, so Bobby Trundley leading this race out at the moment, but but Cousins is back to the inside line for turn 7 and he's through. So back into the lead then goes Luke Cousins as these two begin the battle royale that will finish up the season in their championship fight. What an amazing end to the season this is going to be between these two. Battle royale all the way to the death for an hour around the circuit, and we've got another spin for Xander Mahoney. This is just an absolute nightmare. Bobby is going to make the move here to get past Cousins, but Cousins is going to try and get him back again. Here comes Trundley once more, trying to get more speed off the turn. Trundley's going to go right round the outside and take him into turn 1. Cousins holds it to the inside. What a move from Trundley. He got better speed off the final turn, and Bobby Trundley takes the lead. What a move.
Seb Cook having a
we're going to
battle.
spin. Sorry, we're going to spin at turn 5. That's Ronan McClintock. So Ronan McClintock it is in the 1-2-3 who went around there, unfortunately. He's got plenty of inside grip, but unfortunately, as they go down the straight, once again, Tempest is able to open up the tabs. James Perry in 6th position, trying to hold on in front of, no, it's Matthew Conroy and Michael Coppin, who have both come past James Perry now. So Conroy and Coppin absolutely storming the Crows back into towards the top 6. And watch these two because they are going to be absolutely roaring round this track.
Yeah, Michael Coppin on a charge, as is Joseph Conroy. We'll keep an eye on them. They are 7th and 13th place, so they were due to start a lot higher up the grid than they did, but they did have to start right down the order, and now they're making places.
We got a scrap for 4th position, Tempest versus Cook as they go into turn 6. They are side by side scrapping away for position, and there's more of them in the midfield as well. I think that is actually Joseph Conroy trying to move forward from that 13th position. He's trying to gain ground and get away from Macaulay Pond. There wasn't a lot in it, although he was trying to take on Richard Allison first and foremost. So they're battling away. Let's watch the leaders come back through. Trundley has now got himself a bit of a gap over Luke Cousins, and that's exactly what he wanted, isn't it? 3rd position, Oliver Peacock. He's got well clear of Tempest and Cook, and here they come, those two battlers, and it looks as though Cook has actually got past into 4th position now. So Seb Cook is there in 4th place from Tempest, and then it should be, well, I think that might be Coppin,
It is Coppin now in 6th place, so he has made that move. And so that's Conroy then down into 7th place, and I think that's James Pegg. Oh, we have a move further up. Is that Seb Cook trying to go around the outside of Andrew Tempest? He's going to maybe try into turn 1. That would be some move if he could do it there, but he's going to give it a go. Can't hold on. Well, Andrew Tempest then holding on to 4th place. Seb Cook still 5th. 6th place as you call Jake, is Coppin, then it's Perry, Matthew Conroy, Bork, and Alex Pritchard currently rounds out the top 10. But it's all kicking off there for 4th place, isn't it? They're still battling away, and Michael Coppin looks like he might pick up a couple of places here.
Let's have a look and see who we've got in the midst of the battles. And it's going to be a really interesting battle as they go. Oh yes, that's an off.
Yep, I think that might have been Andrew Tempest who ran wide. And Seb Cook's gone through to 4th place. And following through is that Michael Coppin. Is he going to get all the way round the outside?
Yes, he does!
Just about on board with Michael Coppin then round the outside. Can he hold on? Oh, he's going to go up the curve, but he's just about got through. Seb Cook then next on the list for him as we let's stay on board for the rest of that.
So Seb Cook is just in front of us as we go into turn 4.
Oh,
now,
we're going to go
not
the
for
inside.
long, not for long. That was a beautiful move from Coppin, and he now hits the front of that train. So Michael Coppin, as we ride on board with him, has hit the front of this queue into turn 5, and there's a big squabble going on behind. That's an off there, I think, just a little further back for, is that going to be James Perry who runs a little bit wide there? Seb Cook, Andrew Tempest, James Perry and Martin Bork all in together. Matthew Conroy is at the back of that little queue as well. So 6 or 7 drivers in there scrapping away, but it's Coppin who's got to the front of it, and it's anybody's guess as we go into turn 7. Up on the inside, that looks like Cook still having to defend there from Tempest. It's an amazing little battle though as they come down the hill through the left-hand sweep and up towards turn 8. Brilliant, brilliant scrap.
I'm not too sure if we've had a change there. I wonder if that's Perry making a couple of places.
Oh, there's a possibility, yeah. Well, I'll just have to see as they come through. Well, now side by side, Tempest is trying to get back in there. As they come off the turn, Tempest might have the inside line. Has he got enough speed to get the place? It's going to be close between them as they come across the line. That is, you're right, it is Perry. It's Perry in 5th position, battling away with Tempest. Cook has dropped back into 8th place.
He's back up the inside at turn 2, so Perry's now back through. And just behind, that is Bork, isn't it, next along. And then it's Cook, so Cook losing 3 places on that last lap. So now down in 8th place with Matthew Conroy 9th.
That's right, so Perry is now there. Bork is going to try and go up the inside of Tempest. Well, it goes round to the outside. Tempest actually goes off onto the grass, and Bork goes into the back of him. Yellow flags at the hairpin.
Suspect it's a back marker, but look at this battle for 5th place. Oh, Perry there under some pressure now. Who is that that's trying to come up the inside, Jake? It's Martin Bork, isn't it?
It is Bork, yes, and Perry is desperately trying to keep him at bay. Martin Bork swarming around all over the back of them into 2nd and 3rd. We've got yellow flags at turn 6, so they're going to have to be very careful where he makes the overtake. And that is Coppin getting past the back marker. Bobby Trundley, by the way, is an absolute oh, that's a spin! That is a spin there. Now that is going to be for the cart that has just been lapped by Coppin. Meanwhile, Perry and Bork still scrapping away for 5th position.
Look at this battle.
Yeah, this is very tasty. This is for, I think, 9th place. This is the scrap between Pritchard, Ellis, Conroy. And this is a really close battle. Joseph Conroy, of course, originally up into 11th position. Now he's into 10th, and he's starting to make a move to get past Tim Ellis. Now he's going to have to be brave. And this is going to hold him up a little bit. Alex Pritchard could get his nose back in there. This is going to be tight. He holds the cart to the outside line, and that has saved his bacon for the moment. He remains in 10th position with Tim Ellis just up the road that he's trying to get one over on. This is a great little tussle.
Well, that's Conroy losing the place once again, I think, was it? Certainly driving behind had a look, but it didn't turn into anything more than that. But that is a great battle there for 9th place. And, involved Conroy, Pritchard as well, and now they head down towards turn number 8. For now, it looks like the battle may have settled.
Bobby Trundley just did a 1:28.290. Cousins did a 1:28.285. 5 thousandths of a second in it. 2 seconds on the road between the two of them, and they are giving as good as they can get at the moment. It's a really strong battle. Magnificent fighting between these two karts at the moment. Cousins is the fastest man on the race circuit, but Trundley has lost a lot of time to Luke Cousins in the traffic. The gap has come down to 9/10 of a second as a result of Cousins being held up. Trundley being held up, and now Cousins is right on the tail.
Yeah, that's not 9/10 anymore.
No.
That's at least half of that. So, game on.
Yeah, it really is, and this is where Luke Cousins can really start to get a hammer blow into the gap of Bobby Trundley. But now, Trundley versus Cousins continues at the hairpin, the penultimate hairpin, down towards the final left-hander. And Trundley is desperately trying to hold on, and spin right in front of Trundley. And Cousins is going to go on the inside, and that actually holds up Cousins a little bit more than Trundley. That was very close. Now, who was that went around? That was the 1:35, I think, that went around there. That was Matthew Conroy who went around. So
It's Richard Allison.
Oh, sorry, no, you're right. It was Richard Allison. My apologies. It was Richard Allison who went around there. So problems then, and that's a bit of a headache, to say the very least.
Yes, that lost Luke Cousins some time there. The gap is 9/10, but it was certainly half of that midway through the first half of that lap. So a shame that. And we've had someone go into the barriers at turn 9.
Oh, that's a big one.
Who's that?
That is a big one. That's a big one that's gone right off at the top of the turn 9 corner there. And it's almost as if the kart has just lost control and just spearheaded straight into the tyres there. No control of the kart at all at that point when you lose it that big. So not sure exactly who it is that's gone. It's blue suit, white helmet.
It was too hot on the brakes. Simple as, really. I think it just got it way too hot on the brakes. Tim Ellis off into the barriers.
Oh, poor Tim. There is Trundley working his way again through the traffic, and Luke Cousins is a long way back by comparison. So again, Trundley is just picking them off very carefully, one by one, the back markers, and the traffic has definitely played into the hands of Bobby Trundley in comparison to Luke Cousins here. Perry is now on the tail of Michael Coppin. That 4th position battle is definitely worth a bit of an action-packed drama fest. Let's see them. Here they are. They come through once again, and this is going to be a tight battle for Coppin to hold James Perry at bay here. So let's see them as they come through. There they are together. Now, let's see how this works out, as we're looking further back as well. Tempest is sliding about a bit as he tries to hang on to his position. He's down in 7th place in front of Bork, who has dropped back quite a long way, it has to be said, compared to James Perry. But the gap opens up again between Coppin and James Perry to 3.3 seconds. So that is not as nightmarish for Coppin as he thought it might have been. It's worth talking about the 3 drivers that are on the comeback trail here. We've got Michael Coppin in 4th position. He's worked his way up after a bit of a lacklustre start. His partner in crime, as it were, Joe Conroy, is up to 9th position, so he's made his way up into the top 10 nicely. Xander Mahoney's coming through well as well, up into 12th position, so considering where they've been, they're not doing too badly to get themselves back into a decent position again. Tempest and Cook are having a magnificent battle at the moment for 7th position. Going into turn 2, Tempest still in front of Seb Cook. Cook is looking for an opportunity to get back on terms with Andrew Tempest. These guys were running in the top 6 earlier, don't forget, in 4th and 5th position at one point. They're now 7th and 8th. As Cook tries, Tempest is going to cover to hold the outside line, and that's enough to cut across the nose. He's not going to let Seb Cook get by. So through turn 5, Tempest again holding on in front of Cook. Cook is trying to get good acceleration off the corner down towards 6, but that's not going to happen on this particular occasion. Mahoney is coming back quickly, and he's setting personal bests all the time. He's just done a 1:29.559, which actually makes him the fourth fastest driver on the circuit. I forgot about Joe Conroy, who's going at it hammer and tongs as well. As up the inside, Tempest versus Cook, again getting very close indeed, as Tempest almost got Seb Cook on the way out of the final turn there, but Seb Cook continues to hold that line in front of Tempest, having only got past him about half a lap ago, and now those two still squabbling away for that 7th position.
Very good battle. Not sure it will end, to be honest. I think we're going to see that for the next 25 minutes, but well, it's interesting to see how the two leaders are getting quicker and quicker, isn't it? It's who takes the most risks and gets away with it when the conditions are like this, because they are now changing, and they're now carrying a little bit more speed everywhere. They're now taking a full racing line, inside line through the first corner, but it's who decides to do that quicker than the other. We've got a very congested part of the circuit up at turn 4. Now, who are those 4 drivers? That's the Seb Cook battle, isn't it? I think Joseph Conroy at work.
Yeah, it's Conroy in there. Conroy's in the middle of it. That's what's going on.
And as Andrew Tempest dropped back, he's now 9th. So we didn't see...
Conroy at the inside of Cook. Conroy's going for the inside of Cook into turn 6, and he's got it. So that is Joe Conroy up into 7th position. Now he's got 10 seconds to make up before he can close up on Martin Bork, but he certainly looks as though he's going to get that done at one point. There goes Bork across the line. The 106 has been given a warning for curbing. Now that, interestingly, again is Xander Mahoney. That's how harsh he is pushing to try and get back into the game. He wants to push on to get into that top 10, but Joe Conroy has now got past Seb Cook, and he is now pushing away. So 7th position for Joe Conroy, and to give you an idea of how fast he's going compared to Bork, Bork just did a 1:31 treble 1, Conroy a 1:29.857. He's catching him at a rate of 1.3 per lap, and the gap is already down to 9.7. So down the back straight, and we're going to have to see how Trundley copes. Oh, we got a spin on the on 9. That's turn 9.
Oh, and we've had it. That's is that Macaulay Pond who's had a spin?
Yes, it is Macaulay Pond. You're right.
Exactly like new cousin. So that's how I knew. I knew straight away.
Bobby Trundley is treading on eggshells here at the moment at the very tail end of the race. Bork is back on the inside of Conroy. Bork gets the pace. Trundley is desperately trying to get past, but he can't afford to just throw his weight in there. Cousins is far enough back that he doesn't have to take a risk here. Again, Bork and Conroy sliding around together, and Trundley is getting majorly held up here, but fortunately he has still got enough of a gap for the moment. I would say 2 laps to go, and Trundley is getting really irritated with these two guys. Look, continue your fight, but let me get through, and now they have done. So Bork lets him go. His championship season is going to finish in sweet style. He's been an absolute meteoric thunderplane over the course of the season. An amazing run. We've got a spinner just behind him, but that will be completely academic. Out of the final turn. Bobby Trundley knows it. One finger in the air, and he's done it. He is the champion. Bobby Trundley takes his 6th win out of 10, and he wins the championship in so doing, with Bork managing to beat Conroy in the final corner of the race for 6th position. Luke Cousins crosses the line in 2nd place, defeated, but an amazing rival all the way through the season for Bobby Trundley. They've been absolutely together all year long, and Bobby Trundley emerges as the 2016 Daytona DMAX Inter Enduro Series champion with 6 wins from 10. He was never going to be beaten today, was he?
No. Bobby Trunley didn't really need to win, but as we said at the start of the race, that was all he wanted to do. He wanted to end the season in style. Bobby Trunley wins then, joining him on the podium, Luke Cousins and Ollie Peacock. And when we look at the championship points, I believe they will be second and third as well. Coppin finishes fourth, then it's Perry, Martin Borg, Joseph Conroy, Seb Cook, Andrew Tempest, Alex Pritchard rounded up the top 10. A fantastic recovery drive from Zana Mahoney after his spin at the first corner. He finishes 11th. Ronan McClintock was 12th, and it was Andy Stobart, Matthew Conroy, Stuart Shearman, Richard Allison, Macaulay Pond, Paul Mason, Ollie Kemp, Nigel Foote, and Tim Ellis.
Dreadful. I crashed after about 10 minutes, really hard. Right. So my knee's hurting a lot.
Got some good footage in.
Yeah. Get a nice shot of Richard as he pushes me out the wall, so that looked good. It was tough, very tough. I don't really know where I finished.
You thought you were going to catch Coppin at one point, but...
Yeah, he was just a bit too quick for me, and once that was clear, it was more just about trying to keep on the black stuff and consolidate what I had. So I managed to do that, which is good.
It would have been better if I hadn't binned it at the start. So I was just saying to Ollie, if I'd have actually managed to start where I was meant to start, it might have been fine. But I think to go from, where was I?
P20.
20 up to 4th, I'll take that, yeah.
Yeah, they were impressed with your performance. They were talking about you quite a bit.
Oh, am I going to feature in your video?
Oh, yeah.
Do you really want this? How much is it worth? I know, it was good. It was a good battle with Ollie. It was sort of nip and tuck the whole 3/4 of the race at the end. But Joe Conroy and I said at the start, let's just try and go through the field together and see where we end up. So it was good. It was good. A nice race. I'm looking forward to heats now this afternoon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well done.
Thank you, mate. Much appreciated.
Ollie, that was a fairly lonely race for you in the end, but third, be happy with that?
Yeah, can be happy with that. Sort of way to close out the season. Once Mike and Joe dropped it on the formation lap, it was just a matter of keeping my car out the grass, which I nearly did. Only one thing I went off once. I had probably a few close calls of turn 6. Other than that, just kept it steady. I saw Mike was closing the entire race. I mean, he came from 21st, 22nd. I don't know how Joe and himself sorted that out, but came from the back of the grid. I was only a few seconds behind me at the end, so incredible pace from Mike. I'm sure he would have been here if he started where he should have. But other than that, I think this race pretty much belongs to those two. Dominant from both of them, particularly Bobby. Best drivers of the season, first and second.
It's very noble of you. Well done, well done. Luke, on to you next, second place. Now, what happened at the point in the race where you were only 9/10 behind and then you went to being 4 seconds behind?
It's where we started to come back around to the back of the field. I unfortunately got stuck behind a back marker when a yellow flag came out, and his yellow flag pace was much slower than mine would have been. So the gap kind of stretched out a bit. I think closed it back to about 5.5 seconds at the end. But yeah, lonely race apart from that. Had a little bite at the lead at the start, but he then got it back and was too quick.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. And Bobby, you were a winner and champion. So I suppose you didn't go with the tactic like, I'll just go and cruise rounds and take the win. It was like, no, I'm going to go and win this.
Obviously, I'm not here to come second. Obviously, for kick-off, like many other people here. Just treat this as like a race to win. Really, I mean, I didn't really need it to, but I wanted to, and worked out like that. Really.
How does it feel to be champion?
First ever champion of a champion, so I'm alright. Yeah, it feels great.
6 out of 10 wins. Well done. Well done. That concludes racing here at Daytona Milton Keynes. If you'd like to race with us next year for what is set to be the best DMAX championship in history, we're going to PFI, Buckmore, Shennington, Wilton, Clay Pigeon, plus all the Daytona tracks. Don't miss out. Visit our website or call this number to get involved.